Hey guys, and welcome back to the latest video. Today we are discussing the leaks that just came out for chapter 318 of My Hero Academia. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be super excited because the chapter ends with something we've been long awaiting for. But without further ado, let's hop right into the video. So the chapter starts with Endeavor on the phone with Deku, and he tells him that they're changing plans because Deku's body won't hold much longer, and the request for international heroes has finally been approved, so they'll finally be able to count on more people. Endeavor says that Deku is the key, so he can't go and get his body destroyed like that, but Deku in Deku fashion says that he can still keep going. Here we see that finally there can be more assistance for Deku, and additionally Deku's body is continually getting worsened, despite Deku saying he can operate at 100% of One For All without any repercussions. All the One For All users are warning that his body is not fully healed yet, so he should stop for a while, and Danger Sense activates at that same time, and Deku goes away, ignoring everything they said. Here we see Deku is completely headstrong towards his own ambitions, and despite the previous users of One For All warning him, he doesn't seem to care. And in the next scene, we see that now we're inside One For All, and Nana is worried that her words may become a burden for Deku, while Shinimuro and Banjo are saying that his desire to save every single person is damaging himself in the long run. The second user, on the other hand, the one that we know that looks like Bakugo, thinks that Deku is doing the right thing and that in the current situation, he has to keep moving forward. He says if someone is able to assist him but isn't able to finish his sentence, and the scene completely cuts. We now see Deku fighting in a shopping mall, and he's using Black Whip against multiple small opponents. And after defeating them, he asks a woman if she's okay, but she seems completely scared of Deku, thinking he's one of All For One's underlings and running away. Before Deku can go after her, Danger Sense activates again, and he's on the go. So, if you remember at the end of last chapter, we see that Deku no longer looks like a hero. In fact, he looks more like a supervillain, wielding so many multiple quirks at once, kind of emulating All For One. And given the fact that he's covered in blood, dirt, and mud, it's pretty easy to think that, yeah, Deku is a villain by looking at him. And we see that Deku is kind of now just bound by Danger Sense, and with every single thing he does, Danger Sense activates, and then he goes on to the next mission to go save someone else. Doesn't seem to have a clear plan, but he just seems to want to save everybody, which of course is noble, as the second one says, but is this really the strategy to beat All For One? I don't really think so. And so while soaring through the skies, Deku wonders about Shigaraki and the League's whereabouts. He thinks to himself that he has to stop all of them before they hurt the ones he loved, and that his duty is to complete One For All so everyone can be safe and sound. He also said that he's doing all this so that everyone could feel safe and that he could smile together with everyone again. This is kind of a touching scene right here. In my opinion, I don't think Deku has smiled in quite a while, and all he wants to do is be able to smile together with everyone again, but he's taking the entire burden of the world upon himself and not utilizing the other heroes that are. We see that Deku arrived at Kamino Ward's Ground Zero, right in front of All Might's statue, the place where he fought All For One, and he spotted a Tartarus jailbreaker who is All For One's hired gun. And this villain is called Dictator. He can control multiple people, and the ways to release his quirk were if the victim got hit by a strong force or if Dictator himself got knocked out. So Deku activated his own quirk and asked him about All For One's whereabouts, and the Dictator instead sent civilians to go and attack Deku. Knowing Deku, he's likely not going to fight back, and so the civilians charged towards Deku as they explained that their bodies moved against their will, and Deku started to receive all the civilians' attacks without Deku fighting back as he tried to find a way to stop the quirk. And at that time, Bakugo arrives from above and shoots Dictator in the head with an AP shot. The panel shows a flashback of when the second user explained that what Deku did was right because he can't stop the situation, but if someone were to support, assist, complete Midoriya right now, he needs a right-hand man, that the person would be, and the fact that it never finished. And the panel immediately shows Bakugo talking on the phone, informing those who were on the other side of the phone that he found Deku. So here we see that the second user, what he wanted was someone to complete Deku, a Batman to his Robin, or just someone to give backup to Deku as it is, right? And that is Bakugo, and we've always known that is Bakugo. I don't think any of us had questioning of whether Bakugo would be the right-hand man to Deku. They've developed this sense of trust and camaraderie among each other, being able to rely on each other in battle and sacrifice their own bodies to save each other. And here we see Bakugo is finally reunited with Deku, and I know all of y'all stands in the video and on Twitter are going to go crazy because I know y'all love Bakugo. I love Bakugo as well. He's one of my top favorite characters. And some speculation I have, whenever he's on the phone, I don't think he's talking to the pro heroes. I don't think he's talking to Endeavor and Hawks and Best Jeanist. I think he's talking to Class 1A. And here we're going to see, after so many chapters, we're going to see Deku reunited with his class. Finally, at last, they can be together again, and hopefully they can knock some sense into him. I think Uraraka is going to be kind of serve that role to bring Deku kind of back to reality and get him to understand, listen, Deku, despite you possessing the key to end this all, you aren't doing this alone, and you can't do this alone. So, guys, this chapter was phenomenal. And waking up this morning, I was so excited to talk about this chapter this entire day. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you all next time.